Today we're diving into a relationship prank war that really spirals out of control. It starts with a bit of clever deception and ends with what is, honestly, straight-up emotional sabotage. It is a wild ride that kicks off with a fake phone and, you won't believe this, ends with a melting diamond. I mean, what a crazy image, right? How on earth does a diamond just melt? Well, that question is at the very heart of the unbelievable prank we're about to break down. It was a moment of pure shock that was, believe me, a long time coming. Okay, so the proposal itself is the absolute climax of this entire story. But to really get how we got to this point, we're talking a melting engagement ring. We have to go back. We need to look at the prank that really started it all. You see, this wasn't just some random one-off stunt. Oh no. This boyfriend, he had a history. The stage was set with the now infamous fake iPhone prank, which, you gotta admit, was a masterpiece of deception. Let's just break down the sheer dedication here. So, step 1, the plant. He just slips a new phone cover on her old phone while she's sleeping. Simple. Step 2, the elation. She wakes up, sees this new phone, and is absolutely over the moon. Then comes the really genius part, the data miracle. Of course, all her data is there because it's her old phone. And the final step, the reveal. Her pure joy turns to pure shock when her little brother is asked to hand over the case, exposing the whole thing. What an emotional roller coaster. So, with this so-called success of the iPhone prank under his belt, the boyfriend decides to up the ante. He starts planning his ultimate prank, his grand finale, disguised as the ultimate commitment, a marriage proposal. This term just fits him perfectly, doesn't it? He's not just a guy who tells a joke every now and then. He's a serial prankster. It kind of seems like their entire relationship is built around these huge, high-stakes deceptions. And it wasn't just the iPhone either. Before that, he'd given her a designer bag that turned out to be just painted cardboard. You see the pattern here, right? Faking these luxury gifts just to get a reaction. And it was all building up to the biggest fake out of them all. So, here we are. The big moment. Picture it. The mood is romantic, he gets down on one knee, and he pulls out that little velvet box. You have to imagine, for her, after all the other fake-outs, this had to feel like this was it. This was the one time he was finally being serious. And her reaction is completely real. She sees him down on one knee, she sees the box, and she just starts crying these tears of pure joy. She totally believes this is the real deal. The prankster had finally decided to get serious. He opens the box, and inside is this huge, sparkling diamond. It's perfect. It's exactly what she would have dreamed of. And in that one moment, all the past pranks just disappeared from her mind as she reached for the ring. And this is the gut punch. As her fingers get closer, the perfect, sparkling diamond starts to drip. It's not a diamond at all. The reality of the whole situation is literally melting away right in front of her. So her expectation, a life-changing symbol of love, of commitment. The reality, a perfectly carved and now melting cube of ice. I mean, that is the ultimate gap between hope and a very, very cold prank. But this story does not end with her as the victim. Oh no, this is where the tables turn. She is done being the butt of the joke, and she decides to cook up her own brilliant, sweet revenge. Because, let's be real, in a prank war this extreme, you can't just let that slide. There has to be retaliation. There was no way she was going to let a melting proposal be the final word. And her plan was just perfect. The bait? A lottery ticket that looked like a huge winner. The trap? His own excitement. He rushes to the store to cash it in. And the punchline? It's poetic justice. Just as he's about to claim his prize, the ticket dissolves into dust. She gave him the exact same feeling of having a dream snatched away at the last possible second. So all this brings us to the bigger picture here. This whole saga just raises a really interesting question about prank culture in relationships. When does a joke stop being funny and start being just hurtful? After she gets her revenge, who's the real prankster and who's the victim? The lines get pretty blurry. And that leaves us with one final thought. After hearing this story of fake iPhones and melting diamonds and dissolving lottery tickets, where do you fall? Have you ever been on the receiving end of a really brutal prank, or are you the one who's always masterminding the schemes? It's a very, very fine line between a good laugh and a total disaster.